Hello everyone, welcome to session 1 of LTEC 651 Interactive Multimedia Production. My name is Dan Hoffman and I'll be your instructor this semester. My background is in instructional technology and media, and I've been involved in the field of education for many years. In fact, I've had the privilege of working with learners at every conceivable level from pre-K all the way to graduate school. Outside of teaching, my specialty is designing and researching digital learning environments. I've been involved with lots of projects that explore various aspects of teaching and learning in digital spaces, all of which have involved multimedia in different capacities to improve or expand the educational experience. So now that you know a little bit about me, let's talk more about the course. What is a course titled Interactive Multimedia Production all about? Well, as the name suggests, the course is going to be about multimedia. But what is multimedia? In the simplest of terms, multimedia means nothing more than using more than one medium to communicate. In this context, multimedia usually means presenting words and pictures together. Now, the words can be printed or spoken, and the pictures can be anything from static graphics, such as illustrations, charts, and photos, or dynamic graphics, such as animations and videos. So in this class, when we're talking about multimedia, we're talking about some combination of words and pictures being presented more or less at the same time. Importantly, we'll be studying multimedia in the context of a learning design and technology department that is housed in a college of education. For that reason, we're going to be thinking about multimedia from an educational point of view. For example, we'll be talking a lot about multimedia instructional messages. So what are those? Well, multimedia instructional messages are simply words and pictures designed to foster learning as opposed to, say, entertain. These instructional communications can be delivered using any medium, including paper, computers, or even face-to-face. The point is that they're designed intentionally to support learning. And of course, multimedia learning is simply building a mental representation from word and pictures, something we do all the time. Over the course of the semester, we'll look at examples of existing multimedia instructional messages, some good and some bad. And of course, we'll be learning how to create our own multimedia messages as well. Throughout our journey, we'll often refer to a number of guiding questions to help us think about multimedia and its place in education. These questions include, what should an educator know about multimedia? And what should a designer know about creating multimedia? We'll also contemplate what theories help us understand how people learn with and from multimedia. And we'll also ask what modern tools can help us design and develop multimedia learning objects. Of course, these guiding questions tie right into the learning objectives for the course, so let's take a look at those. Our first learning objective is to understand, analyze, and evaluate how people learn with and from multimedia. And how are we going to do this? Well, we're going to study how humans process information, learn about different types of cognitive load, and we'll be reading about multimedia messages that are designed to work seamlessly with human cognitive architecture. Our second learning objective states that we will understand and evaluate interactivity and its role in learning and engagement. How will we do this? Well, we're going to distinguish between cognitive and behavioral interactions. We'll examine functional, technical, and psychological perspectives on interactivity, and we'll assess how varying levels of interactivity impact perceptions of cognitive load. Our third learning objective states that we will understand and apply multimedia design principles. And how are we going to do this? Well, we're going to examine research about specific principles that help people process multimedia messages. We're also going to practice implementing our own multimedia instructional messages using various design principles. And we're going to learn when, where, and for whom these various design principles apply. For our fourth and final objective, we're going to create original multimedia instructional messages using modern authoring tools. To do this, we're going to test drive different authoring platforms. We're going to emphasize the design process, and we're going to practice providing and receiving formative feedback on our own multimedia designs. So now I'd like to take a few minutes to talk about some of the basics of the course, essentially the structure and the tools that are going to allow this online asynchronous course to happen. As you all know, if you're watching this video, our learning management system for the semester is going to be Canvas. And when you first log into the course, there's some important information and links that I want you to be familiar with. In the overview module, you'll see three things: the course syllabus, the office hour sign-up sheet, and the link to my virtual office. If you click on the course syllabus, that'll take you to a Google document that you can view. And I encourage everyone in the first week to go through and read the syllabus carefully. The office hour sign-up sheet also takes you to a Google Doc, but this one you can edit. This is the place where you can sign up for office hours when and if you need them. And as you can see here, there are already time slots available for this Wednesday, May 22nd from 4:30 to 5:30. To sign up, all you need to do is put your name down and let me know which course you want to talk about, and also whether you want to meet in person or in my virtual office via Zoom. Which brings us to the third link. If you're not familiar with Zoom, you can learn more about it here. Another important thing is updating your Canvas profile. Here's an example of a student from a previous class, and you'll notice in her profile, she has some important information. First, you're going to notice she has a profile picture, and also she has her degree level, her degree program and year, and then there's a little bit of additional information about her background. This helps me as an instructor, as well as your classmates, get to know who's in the course and some of the previous experience that you're bringing as an individual to the class. If you need help updating your Canvas profile, there are many YouTube videos explaining how to do that. I've linked to one here called Canvas: How to Edit Your Profile. So definitely check that out if you need help. Now I want to talk a little bit about the typical weekly structure of LTEC 651. A new module will be released each week on Monday, usually around 12 noon. Each week will be more or less the same in terms of structure and timing, but let's go through this week's module section by section to get a better sense of what you need to do. The first section is the presentation section, and in most weeks you will have a dedicated presentation video which you are responsible for viewing. In the next section, you'll see the reading or readings. Be sure to note whether the readings are required or optional. If a reading is optional, that simply means I recommend it and think it's interesting, and it's probably something that you want to check out at some point, but it's not top priority for now. Then finally, there's the assignment section of each session. Now, the assignment section will have a number of different things that you need to be working on, so pay attention. Just because the assignments are all in the same session, they may have different due dates, which you can see down underneath the title of each assignment. Watch those due dates, as you will have multiple things due in a given week. Next, I want to share a few tips for success in this online asynchronous course. First, please review the presentation files carefully. You're responsible for the information covered in those files. Secondly, it's important that you read the assigned readings and take notes. And when you're asked to complete a critical reflection assignment, it's your responsibility to cite the readings and to make the connection between the assignments and the ideas presented in the readings. Finally, I want to encourage you to plan ahead on assignments. Many of the assignments will involve multiple steps across multiple sittings, so don't save them to the last minute, or else you really won't have enough time to do them well. Lastly, it's important that you monitor your own understanding. This is an intense 6-week course, so ask for help when you need it. I'm here to support you, and you could sign up for office hours whenever you need or want them. It's my job to help you be successful here. Now, before we close, I want to talk about how LTEC 651 will be using badges this semester. Badges are a kind of digital credential. They're designed to make learning more visible and valued in online classes such as this one. This semester, as you progress through the course, you'll have opportunities to earn different badges along the way. You will earn them by participating in various class-related activities. We'll take a closer look at how to actually see and use the badges in a few minutes, but for now, think of badges as a way to track your progress in the course. Importantly, because this class is using badges, LTEC 651 has been selected to participate in ongoing research about badges in student learning. The goal of the research is to better understand how badges impact the learning experience. Now, as an individual student, you have a choice of opting in or opting out of this research. It's up to you. Whether you opt in or opt out is completely up to you, and no matter what you decide, your course experience will be the same. However, if you decide to opt in to the research, the data you generate through LTEC 651 will be anonymized and aggregated for research purposes. You may also be contacted by the researcher to answer questions about your experience with badges in this class. Participation in this research is strictly voluntary, and it will not impact your standing in the class or your grade in the course. You will have the chance to opt in or opt out of this research when the lead researcher contacts you individually via email later this week. Now, let's take a look at how to use badges in Canvas. Basically, there are two main views. The first view is called Progress. This view shows you all of the badges that are available as part of this course. By default, every badge is grayed out because they haven't been earned yet. But as you complete assignments for LTEC 651, you'll earn these badges along the way. Here's an example of a student who has earned 2 new badges. The second major view is called the leaderboard. This view simply shows a list of everyone in the class and their relative ranking in terms of earning badges. Depending on your pace through the course, you may move up and down this list. So, to summarize, LTEC 651 will be using badges this semester. The use of badges doesn't change anything for you as a student. However, later this week, you'll have the opportunity to opt in or opt out of the badge-related research. Again, this decision is completely up to you and will have no bearing on your status in the class or your course grade. If you have any questions about the badges or the research, just let me know. Okay, that's all for this course introduction. I welcome you all to LTEC 651, and I look forward to working with you. Have a great week, and I'll see you in Canvas.